Bunny Tears. What's cracking, Bunny Ballers? My name is Bunny Tears. Welcome to yet another story time with Bunny Tears. It's been a while. I'm feeling good about this one, but as always, first thing is first. This is a demolition on Express. It was myself, Chudley Moore, and Y2 Canyon, aka Tokyo Sex Whale, aka the Grand Canyon, and his new name, aka Absol Jericho. So, this game went pretty well. I liked it. There was a few sexy little streaks I went on, a few passages I played that made me extremely excited during the game, to the extent that I started screaming and people were wondering what the hell was going on. So enjoy that while I talk to you about today's story time, which is in fact entitled Competitive Sales Interview. Now this is a more recent story than any of my other story time with Bunny Tears. This story is actually about the interview I had for my new position, my new sales position. Because as you guys know, I got back into sales. I missed it. I missed the lots of monies, and I missed the lots of time off, and I missed just conversing with people. I used to love that in sales. So I went back into sales. And for the interview process, we had to spend 3 hours in a group interview. There was 8 of us, and there were 2 available positions. So 8 people competing for 2 positions. So the chances weren't very high you were going to get a position. It was 1 in 4 chance. But of course, that wasn't the chances, because it was entirely based on how you shined during this interview process. Now, the thing that worried me about this process was that there were 2 other people there who had worked for the exact same company, basically. A different company, but the exact same thing that we were applying for. So they had worked in the exact industry that we were applying for, whereas I hadn't. I had just done sales before. And then there was 2 more people who had done sales before extensively, and the rest just had a lot of experience in a number of other fields. So I was a bit worried about those 4 sales / perfect industry people, because I was a bit like, right, I don't have the experience that they have with a company like this one, so they should shine in this interview. We had to go through a number of different things and show a number of our skills. One of them was they gave us a list of things that it was kind of like survival gear. So if we were trapped at sea, they gave us a list of survival gear. We had to order them 1 to 15 from most important to least important. And I know a bit about survival, but I don't know much. But the entire point of it wasn't supposed to be who got it right and who got it wrong, because we were split into 2 teams of 4. So it was more about them seeing how we work together as a team to come to our conclusion. So we were in a circle. There was a circle of tables, and we were all sat around the outside of these tables looking in. So as soon as we got this task, the first thing I did was pick up my chair, move it around, and place it in front of the other 3 teammates I had. And they all just stayed still. So I was sitting in front of them, which means they're all looking at me, so I decided, fuck it, I'm going to take charge. So I just took charge of that team crazy style. I made sure we got the work done, I made sure we had a sensible list by the end of it, and then afterwards I discussed with them where we might be tripped up, because this item's pretty important, but I'm not sure if we're going to need it. This item's also really important, but maybe not in this particular scenario. And there were 4 people from the actual company there interviewing us. So 2 of them were with our group just watching. And I think they took note of the fact that I was taking charge of this group. Because it sounds a bit mean, but when someone said something stupid, I was just cutting them down, essentially. I was sitting there being a bit like, no, that's just silly. Think about it like this. Think about it like this. So I was convincing people on my team of certain things, even though they had a different opinion to start off with. So someone would be like, I don't think this is very important, and I'd be like, that's very fucking important. Someone would be like, I think we need mosquito nets, and I'd be like, we're in the middle of the fucking sea. There's no mosquitoes, and it's gonna be cold, not hot. So that's what we did with that. I think I showed my leadership skills there. But the most interesting part was they brought out a bunch of kids' toys and put them on the table. And they said, we're going to do a sales exercise. This is where I thought I was going to shine, so I was happy to do it. They said, you're going to be standing here. We're going to come in. One of us is going to come in as a potential customer in your toy store. You have to listen to what they say and react accordingly when it comes to choosing a toy for them and then selling them that toy. I swear to you, out of all 8 people that were there, including the people who had had experience in the industry before and the people who had experience in sales before, I was the only person out of the 8 people who actually sold the toy properly. One other person kind of sold the toy, but not really. The customer was a little up and down. They were undecided by the end of the experience, whereas my guy was buying the fucking toy. So I went in. There was a bunch of toys on the table. Guy comes up to me, comes in. I'm like, oh, you're right there, mate. Anything I can help you with? And he's like, yeah, I need to buy a birthday present for my niece. I'm like, oh, how old is she? He says 4 years old. So immediately I turn around, I move all of the older age children toys out of the way, and I go, right, this is our selection for her age group. What kind of stuff does she like? And he's a bit like, well, she's always playing on my phone, she likes technical stuff, but she also likes to be active and run around, etc., etc. So I move more toys out the way, and I go, right, this is a skipping rope, be pretty good for her age, keep her active, etc., etc. These 2 toys are actually very important, because you need something at that age that's visually and also kind of audio stimulating, because this is the point where her brain's going to be growing the most. She needs to pick up as much information as possible, so these as well. I said, what do you think is more important? And he's like, well, she does play with my phone. I noticed there's a toy phone on the table. I pick it up. I say, right, this is the one for you. We've got a bunch of colors, so come up to the cash register and I'll talk you through how you can buy it. And he had no choice. He was like, yeah, all right, okay, fair enough. Whereas other people were making problems where there were no problems. The customer would come in and say, oh, do you do gift wrapping in this imaginary shop? And they'd reply with, oh, no, sorry, we don't do gift wrapping. Why would you do that? It's a fake shop. Tell them you do gift wrapping and it's fucking free. What's wrong with you? But anyway, guys, that's story time, Bunny Tears. I'll probably talk about this a little bit longer in a future video. But for now, that's everything. You want to hear about a period in my life? Let me know and I'll talk about it in the next story time. But as always, thanks for watching. Bunny out, bitches!
What's cracking, Bunny Ballers? My name is Bunny Tears.